Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Thrifty Business. This, for all intents and purposes, will be our Christmas show. Yay! Hi, Deb.
Happy New Year. Hi.
What's happening, Debbie? How are you?
I am good. I can't believe Christmas is next week. I'm like,
I know,
oh my God.
I'm still listing Christmas stuff, so.
You should. People are going to still buy it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I just sourced it, so it wasn't like I was waiting, but yeah, it's. I'm still going hard and heavy, getting ready for Christmas. So.
I noticed in the last few years, I think before people put their Christmas stuff away, they buy more stuff so they can pack it all together.
Well, yeah, I think people, things get broke. Mm-hmm. Are they decorating? They're like, oh, I really need a blue wreath right here. And then they go online. Is there after Christmas? Like, all right, for next year, I got my blue wreath ready to go.
And I think they go to their friends' houses and go, oh my, I have to have one of those too.
All right. Well, I just realized my one prop thingy I need isn't here. So you get to talk for a second.
Oh, hi. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having warm weather. Those of us in California, we actually had some rain, which is a very good thing. But I do enjoy the sunshine. And we actually have some frost in the morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's this white stuff that's on our car windows and things? But we need moisture, especially here in California.
So you take 1 week off. And then you forget everything you need to have. Like, I didn't have the sound effects ready. I'm like, dummy.
That's why I started last night. I got stuff out last night and set around the table so that I have my lipstick and my everything.
You got your lipstick prep? Is that what you're telling me?
My lipstick. I got to have my lipstick. I got my earbuds. Don't have them on unless we need them.
All right. Phew, now we're ready, I think. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
My lights don't work, but I'm still wearing them.
All right. Now we're ready. Sorry about that, everybody. How's everybody doing? Merry Christmas. Hello. How are you?
Hi.
All right. So let's try that again. Here we go. All right. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I drink a different rum out of a different mug, and I try and match it up to our guest. And our guest tonight is Becky Palmer. Hello, Becky. Oh, come on, mouse. There we go. How are you, Becky?
Hey there.
What's shaking? How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We are great. Now, I do normally match up to my guest. However, being the Christmas episode, I have like 7 Christmas tiki mugs. So I had to bust out a Christmas one. So going with my Surfing Santa.
Oh, nice. We have one too. I didn't think to use them.
And when gifts of rum pour into Thrifty Business headquarters, you got to say thanks and try that. So my good friend Gina sent me this small batch rum from Georgia called Richland Rum. So let me have a sip because I haven't even had it yet.
Oh, I hope you like it on air live.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Well, I'm using my Trader Sam's Tiki Elephant from a couple years ago. It's a good thing I didn't use my Sippin' Santa too. And I am so excited. My favorite is Pepsi caffeine-free non-diet. You can't buy it anywhere. And all of a sudden, we're finding cases of it. So I'm stocking up with a little bit of Fireball because I like that cinnamon taste.
You joining us in cocktails tonight, Becky?
No, I just have some green tea.
All right, well, cute little mug. I like it. All right, so Becky's got an amazing story. Usually a guest has like kind of one lane where we're headed. Becky's is definitely multi-layered, so you're going to want to stay tuned because this is going to be an amazing story. Plus, I know a lot of you want to do what Becky has done for years, isn't doing right this second, but has done for years, and that is sell on the road, traveling and seeing the country. So we're gonna hear about the pros and cons of that, as opposed to having a brick and mortar office, so to speak. So sit back, relax, Becky. We're gonna do our segments, and then we'll get back to you and find out your whole story.
Maybe the cat will be awake by then.
Maybe we'll get some little. When we did the test earlier, the cat made a guest appearance, a child made a guest appearance.
Oh.
So we'll see who makes guest appearances tonight. All right, so hang tight. All right, let's get right to it, shall we, Deb?
We shall.
The problem with having a week off, especially this time of year, I just had so much to choose from. Like, holy cow.
I know. And I'm thinking, we can use that next week.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was doing too. All right. Time for our scores of the week. These are the bolos, things that you should be on the lookout for. Then Debbie and I sold in the last week or two since we had an offer week. Oh, I got an offer on something.
Cool. I know we sold something just before the show started. I loved this sweatshirt, and I wore it to our San Jose meetup. And Trader Don, our friend Don Vigette, also known as Garb Safari, was sitting next to me. And he goes, "You realize that's a vintage sweatshirt, that you should be selling that, right?" And I'm like, "I like it. It's the sleeves are 3/4. It's USA." So I went ahead and begrudgingly sold it for $39.99. I loved it. It was so comfortable. But hey, I like money better.
Very nice. Nice quick turnaround too.
And this Jean Mattei, my husband found this in a little thrifting store. We'll talk about that later, and sold it. It was so funny. I did the magic on it. We were talking last night at midnight. I said, "Hey, our Jean Mattei hasn't sold yet." 5:30 this morning, cha-ching, it's sold.
Shut up.
No, really. I was like, oh my gosh, it just keeps happening over and over. And this is a Profit Pile alumni with those little sewing chests, singer sewing chests. First of all, it wasn't the Profit Pile a while. I finally listed it, and it did finally sell for $43.99 on sale. I love this time of year because all that stuff that's been sitting, you're just about ready to give up on it, flies off the shelf. So somebody's going to learn to sew. This was a nice surprise. We probably could have got a little bit more money, but we just figured, oh, well. We were in a thrift store, and I paid $14. Someone taught me that sometimes it's good to pay a little bit more when you know you're going to sell it for more. So I am a good student. Sold it for $99 within 3 hours. And that's the first ever gold dimensions needle kit I've ever found. I never find gold.
All right, so now Debbie and I do not, or any of my co-hosts, we do not pre-discuss what our tips are, what our scores are, what our duds are. So Debbie sold this Dimensions Gold Collection for $99.99, and I sold this Dimensions Gold Collection for $99.99. How crazy is that? I mean, it would have, we all would have passed out if it was the same picture. But in the same week, we both sold the Dimensions Gold Collection for $100, and Stacy found this for $1 at a garage sale in Amish country.
Oh, good. She beat me. I paid $14.
Still a good return. So if you have not put this on your be on the lookout list, obviously you should. All right. This one is not a huge sale, but I wanted to show it off because this is a brand you should keep your eyes out for. The Screen Stars Best Made in the USA 50/50 t-shirts, 50 polyester, 50 cotton. These are 80s, early 90s shirts. And people look for them. Nothing all that specific sometimes, but the graphic definitely helps sell it. It was a little tricky to see this graphic, but I thought it was funny because of where I lived. It is a sparkly or a crackle eagle and Wayne Newton. Not sure what the bird has to do with Wayne Newton, but I got $20 for it. I paid a couple of dollars, but I just thought it was a fun one that I wanted to share. Plus, I wanted you guys all to see that tag. That tag is easy to spot when you're flipping through t-shirts. I can see it a mile away.
Do they all say that screen, all the 50/50s, or they're different?
No, I mean, they're different brands that made the 50/50, but a lot of people love this brand specifically. Screen Stars Best.
Nice.
All right. I'm the king of San Marcos. Sold this one for $88 over the past week. A tiger just chilling. What's up, homie? And my assistant learned some stuff this week. This is a shirt by, or last week she learned. This is a shirt by Dragonfly. It is a brand that you should know, but what most of you probably wouldn't know is this is Sailor Jerry, what's called Tattoo Flash. And I might have just said some words. You're like, what, who, where? So Sailor Jerry was the most famous tattoo artist. He basically, he invented what's now called American traditional. This is one of his pieces of art. So when you just see the art, it's called Tattoo Flash. And this is, where am I? This girl's a Sailor Jerry tattoo flash right here. I got some more on my leg. So the fact that we put those things in the title, it's Sailor Jerry, it's Tattoo Flash, definitely helps sell it because most people would just put like Stars and Stripes pinup.
Yeah.
But we went a little more deep. He also did the eagle. So he did the pinup girl and the eagle. So little bonus tidbits from my bolo. And I just found 2 work shirts at one of my favorite places to source, Buffalo Exchange. These are crew shirts from the Def Leppard. Come on.
Nice.
There we go. Def Leppard Poison Cheap Trick Summer Tour of 2009. And they were embroidered. It was the nicest crew shirts I have ever seen. Listed it, sold it within like 4 hours for $100.
Wow. Is there anything on the back of it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Just plain. And I do have one more from a different tour. So hopefully that sells just as quick. Now, not everything is clothing and shirts. It's also my CD and cassette scores of the week. Look, if you're not flipping it yet, what are you waiting for? You know, Deb, I saw people in the thrifting board the other day say, I didn't realize that CDs to be worth money, and I thought they all had to be sealed. And I'm like, why would they have to be sealed? I go, a CD is not like an action figure. Action figures, people leave them in the package sealed. People who buy out of print and collectible CDs actually want to listen to the music besides having the CD.
And they want to flip through the liner notes if it's a booklet.
Okay, now the last couple episodes, I did not have the greatest cassette scores. Well, that all changed because let's talk about flipping cassettes. And I see Nadine's in the chat. Hey, Nay, you got this great flipping cassettes graphic for me? I need a CD one that kind of resembles this because I don't have one. Here we go. Classic Queen sold this cassette for $19.
Wow.
Motley Crue, Shout the Devil, sold this cassette for $25. And if you're in the Secret Beach, you just hopefully watched the Flippin' Prince webinar. And this is directly from that webinar, the family cassette for $49.
Wow. Now, did you say that the CD of that doesn't sell for as much?
Right. Yeah, it used to, and it's kind of dropped off, but the cassette I was happy to find. Plus, I think I have one or two more laying around. So I gotta get it listed again.
Of course you do. You're the king.
So there's the cassettes. Now let's talk about CDs. And I've sold so many this month. I was having a hard time even keeping it to I think I'm going to show you 9. And I was like, I could show this one. And I'm going to show you some Christmas and some non-Christmas. The reason I want to show this Batman was I had it on Amazon for 2 years and it didn't sell. Put it on eBay and sold in a month.
Nice. So
sometimes things are on the wrong platform and you got to get them on the right platform. So this Batman for $24. It's a cow Christmas for $40. And what this is, it's cows mooing Christmas tunes.
Oh my God.
I paid $199, sold it for $40. This is Metallica. Now, if you take my Flippin' CDs webinar, you'll learn all about things like DVD audio. This Metallica special version of the Black Album sold for $55. Just sold this Crash Test Dummies today. It's their Christmas album for $35. I paid $2.99 for it. This one is one I didn't know. Corporal Blossom presents a mutated Christmas. It's all electronic artists. I paid $2.99, sold for $40.
Nice.
Had this on Amazon, listed last night on eBay, sold within an hour and a half. Tales from the Crypt, have yourself a scary little Christmas.
Nice.
$28.
I remember that movie.
And one of the best Christmas movies of all time, Die Hard. This is another one of the ones that was on Amazon, moved to eBay, and it sold right away. So the soundtrack to Die Hard sold for $32.
So you're not cross-posting on eBay and Amazon at the same
what I've been doing, Deb, is I've been pulling my, because this is all my Amazon CDs.
I know.
Right there.
Yep.
So what I've been doing is been pulling the 20 oldest, looking them up on eBay, and usually of the 20 oldest on Amazon, usually about 10 to 12 are worthy of putting on eBay, and the other 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever just end up getting redonated. Not donated, I trade them in at a record store for money. So So I'm starting to clean out the old, but guess what? A lot of the old are selling on eBay really quick. So cool.
eBay to the rescue.
So if you've not checked out my stuff yet, get over to jasonthrifts.com. You can get all my webinars there. Right now, the Flippin' CDs webinar is on sale for $47. You find one family cassette, one Mooey Christmas, and you learn that from the webinar. It pays for the whole webinar, and the rest is just free money for you. It's a 2.5-hour webinar. The cassette webinar is about 2 hours. The 36 mistakes you must avoid is about 5 hours. So all kinds of great webinars on jasonthrifts.com.
Those are great prices and make stocking stuffers. And besides, your accountant might be able to write those off on your tax.
Yes, they would be able to write them off. And that's great. That'd be a good stocking stuffer. Yes. And if you've not been in the Thrifty board at all in the last 6 days, I've been doing the 12 days of compact Discmas, giving little tips and tricks about mainly Christmas CDs. So make sure to check that out. If you've not been in the Thrifty board in a week, just type in Discmas, just like you see it, DICS DISC-MAS, and you'll see all of them. That'll be the quickest way to see all of them.
Now, I think I might be wrong, but it seems like Garth Brooks is the one that would not allow them to put him on iTunes. Because
yeah, but he is now.
He is now. Okay. Yeah.
I'm seeing a whole bunch of good chatter here. Yep. All right. So that's all that shenanigans. Now it's time for... our dozen of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. I'm like, duh, I should have had the snow on. What am I thinking?
I like that. It's the only snow I get to see here in California. Yeah. I was so sad. I bought this. I paid $10. It's really cool. It's, bohemian, hippie, suede, leather, and the whole thing. And we listed, and I think we might have started at $125, then lowered it to $99. And then a lady asked us questions about it. And that's when I realized there was some fading on it, fading down the sleeves, because I just didn't see it at first. And I was so bummed. So I put it on sale and made a lady an offer of $25, and she snatched up right away. And I was really sad because I know it was worth a lot more money, but I'm happy to somebody to have it. And I told her, be sure there's fading on this, and she was happy with it. So that was my dad. And then these little ones, aren't they cute? There's a lot of these little poodles, but the spaghetti stuff on there makes it more special. I put them on auction. It didn't sell, so I put it on just, buy it now. I think I had it $29, still didn't sell. And then I made an offer to somebody, I think, let's see, I was trying to find it, $15. And they were happy. But what a pain to ship, because you don't want to chip off any of that stuff. And then they're chained together. So I had to wrap the puppies in tissue, and then the mom, and then the bubble. Oh, it was crazy.
All right. So I wanted to share with you the date of when this got listed. Speaking of Sailor Jerry, December 8th, 2017. So almost 2 years to the date, someone finally offered me $10 with free shipping. And I'm like, goodbye. So, not everything Sailor Jerry is cool. Just got to pick the right stuff. And although I made a nice profit on this, I also want to show the date. I listed on October 24th, 2018. So a little over a year and 2 months. It was from a Las Vegas expo where this was the bag they gave out, a whole bunch of Nickelodeon stuff on it. I've gotten a lot of lowball offers, and then boom, this Christmas I sold it for $24. So nice. I only paid $3, so it wasn't a huge dud, but it sat too long. Like, I got to get my stuff moving.
Yeah, we think they're going to go quick.
Yep. All right, now it's time for where in the world did our stuff go? If you are not selling internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Yay!
I didn't know we were going to have props.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that for a month. I actually have an international sale. Bought these billiard pool balls. I think I paid $6.99 at our local thrift store, and they sat. And I started thinking, nobody wants these. I think we've had them like a year and a half. And then somebody in London decided they had to have them. And I think they paid almost as much for shipping as they did for the balls. And I'm trying to remember if we use pirate ship, because we always check with international. We always check pirate ship, just to get the best price to them. And I think I can't remember, but anyway, they're sold. Yeah, we sold them for $49.99.
That's awesome. Now mine, I got to show you a picture first. I just realized I don't have it loaded, so I'm going to put me on the big screen. Let me turn the snow off for a quick second here. All right. So that is Stacy at one of our new favorite tiki bars. It's in Kauai, right on the ocean, no walls. It's rare for a tiki bar not to have walls, but the drinks were good, the food was great, and the scenery was awesome. But I wanted to share that because I love when things really move around the world. So we're in Kauai having a cocktail. Oh, you got mugs for sale? Sure. So we buy a couple mugs, one to keep and a couple to flip, because then you can drink for free. So I listed this mug from Mama Hooney's in Kauai, and it sold within like a day to Friedenfels, Germany, and it's off and running. So that mug is working its way around the world, Kauai to Vegas to Germany. And again, you never know when someone in the UK needs pool balls and someone in Germany needs a tiki mug. That's why you should be selling internationally, because you make a lot more money. You make a lot more money. Plus,
we have U.S. American troops around the world in places
that too. Yeah,
they miss home, and yeah.
Time for closing cards of the Thrifty kind. All right, I had a good one in New York City, and so I wanted to share it. But of course, after it happened, I'm like, dummy, I should have taken a picture. So I told Stace, next time you see one happening, just quietly take a picture, because she observed it happen. But of course, when we were all done, I was like, So I'm sitting in my favorite thrift chain in New York City. If you are going to the big bad city, Housing Works are all over the city, and I love them. I found tons of good CDs there this year. And so what I was doing was they had a chair for sale next to the CD section. So I used the chair to sit down, and I'm scanning CDs, and a lady stops over top of me, and she goes, "It sucks you can't sell CDs anymore on Amazon." And so she knew exactly. And I wasn't even holding my phone. It was actually sitting down, but it was the thing that I just scanned was on the screen. And I said, well, I've been selling long enough. I can still sell them all. So she's a bookseller. She sells on Amazon. And we talked for a little bit, and then she left. And I'm not a huge person to have conversations just for no reason out of the blue with strangers. But she came back, and we started chatting some more. And she said, you got to go to this little secondhand store. It's about 6 blocks from here. You'll find some goodies. And we did. And I happened to find a CD while we were talking that was good. And I showed to her. I go, hey, this is good because of this. And she goes, I remember that CD when I was selling CDs. I go, well, guess what? It still sells for big money. So we exchanged little tips and tricks. So that was kind of nice and kind of fun. So.
Well, did you tell her that always check, because there are some that are not restricted?
I did. I said sometimes, things will work out. And then I was so dumb. I didn't give her my card, tell her about the show, nothing. I'm just like, after it was all over, I was so in the zone of scanning that it really kind of threw me a little bit. But,
you don't expect someone to come up and bug you.
And then have the conversation twice, and they were both good conversations. Like nice. I wasn't looking to escape it. So that's when Stace was like, didn't think you need rescued.
Well, maybe we'll find her in one of the Amazon Facebook groups.
Yeah. All right, now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing.
Okay. We went up to Nevada City, which is a low Christmas area about an hour and a half away. And then we thrifted our way home. And one of the thrift stores that we were in was more like an antique store. And so sometimes we go in, I know down at the beach, Pacifica, there's one, and I get turned off with antique stores because I know I really can't afford anything. And, they usually know what they're doing. But you're going to see later, you can go in sometimes and be shocked because they don't know everything. And so there can be surprises in these. Is it an antique store or is it really a thrift store? Because I asked Siri, thrift stores, but she sends me to what I think is an antique store. So just because you don't think you're going to find anything, still go through with your eyes open, check the little corners and everything, and just go through, because you never know what you're going to find.
All right, so here's my little tip. If you go someplace that your credit card will save you money and you don't have that card, go get it, because I have the Star Wars card, and the Star Wars card is also now is a Disney card because they own it. And today I was up at the Disney outlet store, and this was my bill before I gave them my Star Wars credit card, $1,153, and after $1,038. So that was a savings of $115.
The force was with you.
Yes. So if you're going to shop someplace that would have not a rewards credit card, but a discount type credit card, make sure you're using it. Make sure you got it with you. Make sure it's in your wallet, because that's $115 I got back. I was going to buy that stuff no matter what, but I saved $115 today. So doing a little retail arbitrage today, Deb.
Yeah, I was going to say, were you buying me Christmas presents?
Spend $1,000 on your Christmas presents, Deb.
Yeah.
Now it's time for You Got to Be Shipping Me. Little tips and tricks, what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
We've mentioned this before, and I think you do too. We put packing slips in our boxes. So I kind of laid out the steps here. It kind of looks like a diagram there. There's 2 different ways you can print your packing slip. The way we choose on the left, the 1, 2, 3 side, it still shows the price. Because, when you do it on the eBay, when you do your packing slip, you go to do your shipping label, that does not have the price of the item. So that's great if it's a gift and you don't want the person to know how much you spent. So we use the other one so that the buyer has all that information. But the reason and the why of doing this is shipping labels can fall off. Packages break open. They get smushed. They get mangled. I mean, I'm shocked at how bad boxes can get mangled. Or sometimes I just read about this. Someone forgot to put the shipping label on, and they dropped it in the bin, the box at the post office. Go on your way, and then there's nothing they can do when they open. If they will supposedly open the box and see, okay, who is this from and who is it to? We don't know, but there's a packing slip inside to help, because otherwise it all ends up at the USPS. They have a big auction where all the poor lost packages go. And we know, every year they're shipping more and more. I was shocked when I saw that something about the post office, I think, delivers 1 million packages a day right now. It's crazy. So I like to put that packing slip in. So if you go back and watch, there's 2 different ways there to get it.
And someone wants to know what I bought. Stay tuned to the Thrifty Board and Thrifty Business.
Can't wait.
You'll see. All right. So mine, I'm going to kick me on the big screen because mine's actually a live what not to do. I find this happen all the time with bigger companies. And the thing is, this company isn't that big that I bought from. They don't have a lot of size boxes because they do find it's, when Amazon does it, I believe it. They find it's more advantageous to just have less size boxes. Yeah. So you throw things in that a box is too big, you throw a little bit of padding in. But this is even ridiculous. I saw the return label. I'm like, oh, I bought 5 CDs from an online CD store that when they run sales, the prices get so discounted that it's worth it for me to shop with them and then flip them.
Nice.
And so when I saw the box and I only bought 5 CDs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So 4 are normal size. And then one's kind of a smallish box set. But still, this box did not. And there wasn't even enough padding if they really want padding. Look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy. That poor tree.
Yeah. So if you're shipping it home and you got just too big of a box, you can Frankenbox it. And that means making it bigger or smaller.
Yes.
Definitely don't waste your packing supplies. You could cut down this box to about this big. And you don't even really need packing supplies for, something hard like this. But hey, I got some great air pillows.
Yeah. Plus with the new dimensional, they might have paid extra because of that big box that they didn't need, and they had to pay more money because it's so big.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy how what a kind of waste that was. That's just nutty to me. But oh well, I'll use the box.
Yes.
And the air pillows. All right. Now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. No matter where you're selling, here's some little tips to help you out.
Okay, here's our Jean Naté bottle again. And we sold it last night for $99. Well, then we went to pack it this morning. As I was discussing the packing slips, we write, thank you, their name, and, from Debbie or whatever. But the pen was a bad pen, and it put a blob of ink on the packing and got on her hand. And guess where that got? On the back of the Jean Naté box.
Oh, my gosh.
I just went crazy. You wouldn't think so, but I do have a little bit of a temper. I'm like, no, how did this happen? So we messaged the buyer. We tried to get it off with Bestine, and it took the box off and some of the wording. I'm like, oh my gosh, this was a pristine bottle when we bought it. That's one thing too. My husband, when I was talking about, is it an antique or thrift store? We stopped at this place and I found nothing. And I thought they're just overpriced. There's nothing. And then my husband walks up behind me and he goes, well, what about this for $3? I'm like, OMG, you found that in here? So anyway, we messaged the buyer. We showed her pictures, showed her what happened and everything. And she said, do you still want it? She goes, well, would you offer a discount? So my husband and I were like, okay, are we the first to negotiate or are we not supposed to? And I thought in this instance, we went first. And we said, would you be happy with $20? She said, yes, please send it. Because she could, if I would have asked her, what would you be happy with? She might have wanted $50 off. So we offered her 20. She was happy and we were happy. So the point too is always check your pens. Write on another piece of paper. And if it's a blobby pen, throw it away.
Yes, definitely throw away your crappy pens.
Yes.
All right. So this is a sale from eBay, but this is for any platform you sell clothes on. If the brand is not a brand anyone gives a crap about, don't waste any bit of your title on the brand. This brand is nothing. They make just crappy shirts for Gunny. For Grinny. I don't even know.
For Eugenie.
There's also a brand called Scorpio. They all make the same kind of shirts. No one is looking for Genie. No one. But they are looking for a fun, going to Vegas to party weekend Las Vegas shirt. So I use my title to put it into Welcome to the Fabulous Las Vegas sign, Nevada, the size, small, camp shirt. That's the style of shirt this is. Slot Machines Casino. No space wasted on crappy brands. You have a Tommy Bahama. You got a Levi's. You got, a rain spooner. Yes, absolutely. Lead with that. But it's a crappy brand, but a cool looking graphic. Just talk about the shirt.
Is that the South Park people on the bottom of that?
No, it's slot machines.
Oh, those are little slot. Oh, I need glasses.
Old school, one-arm bandits.
Oh, they look like.
And your husband says you have a little temper.
Oh.
All right, real quick before we get Becky in here. Mom and I are having a show on Sunday for sure, but we don't have a topic yet. We did start a post, or Mom started a post. Yay, Mom, good job. Mom started a post looking for a good topic. Y'all have had good suggestions, but not good enough for a show. And so I will respond to each of those. And some things I haven't even done yet, so I can't really talk about them. But Stacy did come up with an idea. So if we don't get a good one from the thrifting board, we'll run with Stacy's idea. But Mom and I'll be on Sunday, 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast. And I had a real fun idea for a show next week. Now, normally I would take the last week of the year off and say, happy holidays. We'll see you in the new year. But since I was off last week and 2 weeks before that, I said, let's do a show on the 26th. It's the day after Christmas. Most of us won't be too busy unless we're sourcing during the day at the sales. But here's what I thought we would do. Deb's around. Most of the admins around. They're all ready to do this. We want to have you, meaning you out there, be the guest. So what I'm going to do on Thursday is pop the link to be on the show into the thrifting board. And then all you got to do is have a computer with a camera and hopefully a microphone that works and pop in. And we want to hear your best thrifting score of the year or the best thing you learned from the thrifting board this past year. So if you've always wanted to be on the show, or maybe you're a little shy, you want to get over your shyness, there'll be a bunch of us constant. Like Deb will be here. And I think Bridget's going to be here. Joy's going to be here. Andrew's going to be here. Angela's going to be here. And then we'll just have you guys hopping in and out. Come tell your story. Come tell us, what you found and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a fun show. So
yeah.
If you've always wanted to try to be on YouTube and you're afraid to, all you got to do is show up. And we're only going to talk to you for about a minute. Everyone will get like a little minute to talk about what they learned or scored this year. And then we'll go on to somebody else. So be ready. Have a computer, have a camera. You don't have to have an external mic, but as long as your computer has a mic, and it's best to use Chrome. So if you don't have Chrome as your browser, download it now.
Yes, and lock the dogs and cats in the bedroom.
And whatever you want to talk about, it doesn't have to be a score that made you $1,000. If it's a score that made you $5 and it meant something to you, that's cool. Come on, we want to hear from all y'all and have a fun little holiday show. It'll be 4 days before my birthday, so it'll be like a little pre-birthday show. Right, so Glenda said sounds like fun, so I expect to see you next week then.
Yeah, start looking now because this could go all the way back to January 1st, right? Something that you
definitely.
So get those spreadsheets out and see what you made money on or what you liked.
Yep. So, and I will put a post in the group probably tomorrow. It just won't. It'll have the link to watch, and I'll post the link to actually be in the show on next Thursday. So, but I'll get it going just so you all can start planning and figuring out. And if you really want to be on, and if you want to send me a screenshot of something, just send it over to me and message with me, and I'll get things locked and loaded. And then when you pop on, go, hey, I'm the guy with Transformers or whatever. All right.
Cool.
All right, but we're enough of that. Let's talk this week because now it's time for. Hey, everybody, it's Becky. And you know what's funny, Becky? Your blue painted wall behind you matches almost the same blue that Nadine used in the artwork. This is so weird.
It does.
I was like, wow.
Her beanie, too, is the same color.
I know. Apparently, blue is our theme. It'll be a blue Christmas.
Teal. It's a teal Christmas.
All right, let me take Deb out, put Deb back in. Boom. There we go. So how are you, Becky? What's happening? What's shaking? Thanks for taking time out this holiday season to hang out with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
I'm
having
so
me.
excited. I've been trying to get Becky on for like a year. And I had messaged her in September. I'm like, are you ready yet? And for some reason the other night, she responded to that 4-month-old message. And I went, yes, finally.
Hey, someone responded to a message I sent on February of 2018. And they answered like it was fresh. And I'm just like, what did I ask you or tell you in February of 2018? I had to go back and figure it out myself. But yeah. All right, so Becky, let's start right easy peasy. Where are you located? Since I didn't officially match up rums with you this week.
We are in Montana now.
So the snow works for you.
Yeah, we do have a lot of snow for sure.
And do you enjoy the snow?
I do. I love the snow.
Oh,
Absolutely.
nice. So does my husband.
So I lived in Arizona for close to 20 years. So I
Oh,
love
that's a
being in the-
change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Arizona, Montana. That's a huge difference. Now, I've never been to Montana. I assume it's as pretty as everyone says it is.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, unlike
Yeah.
Nevada, which is very ugly.
Did you say there's a tiki bar in Montana now?
Well, not now. It's an old tiki bar. It's been there forever. It's called the Sip and Dip, and it's got live mermaids.
Oh, you wouldn't expect that in Montana.
All right, so Montana's huge. How far are you from Great Falls?
Oh, I don't know. Probably at least 6 hours, maybe. Yeah, it's a huge state. And we're clear over on the west side. So everything's a long ways from us.
Because I'm starting to do, I did a year of classes 2 years ago, traveling the country, teaching classes. And then I had some medical issues that I'm pretty okay now. So we're starting again in January in Arizona. Details to come very soon. But I told my buddy who helps me book these, I go, I got to teach a class in Montana. He goes, why? I go, because there's a tiki bar. Duh. So if we can get just enough people to break even, as long as I make it there to see the tiki bar and the live mermaids, I think it'll be fun. Maybe even have the class near the tiki bar so we can just head over afterwards. But enough of that nonsense. So you did something that I've heard a lot of people want to do. And it's not anything I've ever thought to do. I know Debbie raised her hand. That's something that her and Bill have thought about doing.
Yes.
And I do enjoy motorhomes, but I don't know if I could do it. But you, and at the time your husband, said, let's sell the 4 walls and get into the 4 tires, and off we go. Now, what? I said Arizona. Sorry, my class is in Atlanta, not Arizona.
Yeah, I thought, what? Wrong A.
Arizona. I will do a class in Arizona, but Atlanta's next. Sorry. Thanks, honey. So what precipitated that? Like, what were you? How many cocktails in were you when you said, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's sell everything and just drive"? What made that? What made that come up? What made that choice? How'd you get to that point?
Well, it actually wasn't my first time living in an RV. I lived in an RV when I was going to college down in Phoenix, actually. So it was kind of something that I had done before, but we were stationary. We just had it parked. So what my husband and I wanted to do was basically pull the kids out of private school and homeschool. And then so I would have to quit my job and stay home full time. And so that way we could afford to do all that. And we wanted to try to save some money to buy a house of our own. So that was the original plan.
And how many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids, 2 at home and 1 just got married recently.
Oh, congratulations.
Aw. So you sold it all and you packed up and you started your travels. Now, so back up even more, when did you start selling online?
Probably back in like 2000, I guess it was.
Oh, so you were an early, what year did you start, Deb?
2002.
Okay, and that was March of 2000 in the snow and a blizzard. Oddly enough, I remember the day that I was standing in a record store. It was snowing out, and I looked at a table of CDs and went, "Those have to be worth more than $1." And that's when I taught myself how to sell online. So, what made you start selling in 2000? What was happening that you're like, I'm gonna try this online selling thing?
Well, it was the digital age. Music was becoming like digital. It was like Napster, MP3s, and I had a huge CD collection. So I just threw them all up online and started selling them, and I made a lot of money. So then after doing that, I kind of started looking for things. I got into books, DVDs, games, things like that. And I was working full time, so I wasn't really even spending a whole lot of time sourcing, but I was making a good $200 or $300 a month without even really trying.
Nice.
So that's how I got started.
And tell everybody what's one of the websites you started on?
It was half.com.
What's
It's an eBay site.
Half.com was a great website. So here was the whole point of Half at the time. It started out for textbooks, and their thought was, okay, so the textbook is brand new for let's say $100, just for round figures. You would sell it on Half, and you could sell it for no more than $50. Now, $50 would be in like new condition or new. And then if it was in very good, they'd probably expect you to sell for around 40 and so on. And then it turned in from textbooks to all books to then media. And then they realized, like, Why are we limiting it to half, even though that was the concept? Because plenty of books, like we've talked about, plenty of CDs, like you saw tonight, out of print. And man, I made a ton of money, but eBay ruined half.com.
How?
So they bought it. Companies get big and they buy things that complement their brand. And I totally understand that. But they bought it and they didn't know what to do with it. So they brought it. They tried to bring it inside of eBay. So you could never go to it externally. You had to go into eBay, then into half. And all of a sudden, probably for you too, Becky, sales just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it came to a screeching halt. And then they realized they screwed up and they pushed it back out. But by that point, the damage was done. And we'd all moved to Amazon. Now, did you move to Amazon?
No, I moved to eBay, just regular eBay.
And so they finally put it to bed, a few years back, but it's been dead forever. And it sucks because I made so much money on half.com. It was awesome.
Now, why do you think
it was so easy to use?
It was what?
It was so easy to use, which was I liked about it.
Yep.
Super easy. Just scan, list, done.
Why do you think you made more money on half than you would have on eBay back then?
Because it's quick and easy, like Amazon, and there was no hoops to jump through. You scanned in the barcode or you typed in the ISBN, boom, the picture's there, the description's there. It was 2 seconds, your condition, your price, and then you were on. You didn't have to think about shipping or nothing else. It was so quick and easy. You could list so much stuff so fast.
Wow. Cool.
And did we just have a little guest appearance walk by real quick?
It's an elf. It was a Christmas elf.
All right, so you sell it online, and then you're like, all right, hubby, let's do this. Let's go drive. And now, was your plan to drive like everywhere or drive to just one place and kind of hang out there?
Yeah, our plan was to kind of just park it at a campground because it was cheaper to live there. And he actually worked and I worked part-time in the town. And we were in Loveland, Colorado at the time. And so he had a job and I had a job. And so our plan was just to kind of park it in a campground because it was a lot cheaper, especially during the winter to camp. And just try to save some money.
Nice.
And so we liquidated everything. We lived in a big house, big 4-bedroom house, and we just liquidated everything and moved into a little tiny camper.
Wow. That's
which
scary.
We were also remodeling at the time too, so it was a big mess because we bought it cheap and we were going to flip it. So we were living in it and remodeling it. So yeah, it was.
And how old were your kids then?
So my son was 8 and my daughter was 6, and then my older daughter was in college down in Denver.
Okay. So they were
just the 4 of us, yeah, and our animals.
Oh, how many animals did you have?
A dog and a cat.
Okay.
That's good.
17 dogs, 2 parakeets, 3 birds and a tranquil. I was waiting for that.
A partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah. So when you did this and you got parked, so where were you sourcing from to get the majority of your stuff at the time?
So before that, we were sourcing everywhere, Craigslist, you name it. I mean, we had huge stuff. We were doing storage units. We were doing estate auctions, all kinds of things. When we moved into the RV, we had to downsize and do a lot smaller things. So that's when I really got into flipping eyeglasses, jewelry, neckties, smaller things that I could store and ship easily, not have to have so many shipping supplies.
Nice.
So my thought, Debbie, when I knew she was coming on, I'm like, all right, so what happens? So now you live in the RV and you got to think about sourcing smaller stuff. What happens when you're standing at a garage sale and there's a big thing that you're like, holy crap, that's worth a lot of money, but I can't put it anywhere?
I have no place to put it. A lot of things that we had to pass on just because I had no place to put it. But we did have a storage unit. So there was a few things that got put into storage if it was really worth it.
That's smart.
And that was also before really the advent of, offer up and marketplace, when you could quickly kind of move, like, you found a dining room table and chairs is worth $1,000 and you find it for $50. You can flip it quick on a local app for like $200. You can make some money and get out real fast. But back then it was pretty much Craigslist. And, nowadays with everyone with their phone in their pocket, much easier to do that kind of stuff. Now, see the homeless millionaire in the chat, because my buddy, he travels the country in his motorhome, says it's tougher than it sounds. I got to, and I got to imagine having the kids, having the pets, and redoing it all at the same time, living, selling. I mean, that is absolutely crazy to me.
You said winter, so there had to be snow.
Yeah,
right?
we were in Colorado, so it was cold.
I
Well,
would
we
be
moved into the RV in the summertime, which was, I think it was July when we moved into the RV. But we were planning on living in it for at least a year, so through the winter.
wow. You're a pioneer woman.
And hey, John, homeless millionaire, where are you parked right now? Because I know you move around the country.
I want to be a homeless millionaire.
So this is a great question from Rich and Nyla. What do you do about internet service? Now, I'm guessing that if you're in a campground, they have it for you.
Sometimes they do. It's not always reliable though with the Wi-Fi in the campgrounds. Sometimes it's really slow. So what I did was I just used a hotspot on my phone I just had Verizon Unlimited, and I would just use a hotspot. There are some internet services I know you can get, like satellite and different things. But yeah, for me, I just use either the park Wi-Fi or my phone as a hotspot.
Nice. I think someone posted there's a better service now all of a sudden. I'm in 2 Facebook groups of about 30,000 people who are full-time or want to be full-time RV, living in an RV. And there is incredible tips. So anybody who's thinking about doing this, join those Facebook groups. You'll blow your mind. I know which truck to get. I need a 5th wheel.
Yep. Yeah, somebody commented about something that's called like 360. I forget exactly, but yeah, there's definitely better services now available.
Yeah, you were one of the forerunners.
Yeah.
I will say, in John's motorhome, I was in it down in Laughlin a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if I'd ever been in a motorhome with the slide outs all out. And my folks had a motorhome when we were kids, but this is the '80s, Winnebago, just normal. Man, it really changes the game with those slide outs. It's so it's not that much, but it just changes it so much. I'm like, oh my God, I can actually, I'm a big dude. I can breathe in here. I can move around. It's kind of cool. So I'm like, yeah, those slide outs are crazy. All right. So you guys have parked it, you're selling, you're redoing it. And then the unthinkable happens.
Yes. So my husband passed away very suddenly. We're completely unexpected. He had some, it was called like a multi-organ failure basically. And it was due to some medications and things, and just happened so fast.
So sorry.
Yeah, thank you. He collapsed one day, and then 2 days later he was gone.
I just can't, and definitely my condolences, and I can't even imagine, because when I was reading you wrote one of the greatest write-ups of any guest we've ever had. Like, it was really good and extensive, and I'm like, man, I don't know where to go. There's so many angles. But it was, all these thoughts ran through my head. I'm like, okay, when a tragedy strikes us, we lose a spouse, a child, a pet, any type of loved one. We all mourn in different ways, but a lot of times it's you sit in the corner and why him, why my dog, why that, and then you just don't do anything. Well, you couldn't. You don't have a house to go to, and you're supporting yourself by selling, and you have kids, and that's what made me just think, like, man, I don't know if I'd be strong enough to be just like, got to keep on trucking. But apparently you were.
Yes. So what I did was, we were mostly done with the remodel of the RV that we were living in, which was a class A motorhome. So it was and it was long, it was big. I think it was 36 feet, and it had one slide. So it was pretty big, but it wasn't really comfortable to live in full time. And so I finished the RV with some help from my dad, and went ahead and sold it. Not for as much as we were hoping to get for it originally, but I made a good profit on it still. And then I was able to purchase a larger 40-foot toy hauler 5th wheel and a truck.
Nice.
So that way we were able to actually hit the road and have a lot more comfort. So that worked out really good.
Awesome.
And I was able to stay at home, which was my original plan. Was I didn't want to go back to work and put my kids back in school. I wanted to be able to continue to stay home and homeschool. And so that was my plan.
Awesome. Homeschooling on the road is the best. Kids learn all kinds of stuff out there.
So I definitely raise my glass to you, being as strong as you are to get through that. I mean, that is amazing, because a lot of people definitely not equating losing a job to losing your spouse, but I lost my job back when we were newly married, and I didn't know how I was going to pay mortgage. That's when I taught myself to sell online. But I remember sitting in the corner of the couch for 2 weeks, basically sucking my thumb, going, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then I just, divine intervention, I walked into a CD store, and the rest is history. But you don't know what you're gonna do, and you couldn't have that luxury of just being like, I'm gonna sit on the couch for 2 weeks.
Well, I kind of did for a few weeks, but the YouTube community was awesome. So loving and supportive, and really helped us out. A friend of mine set up a GoFundMe page, and so we were able to raise a lot of money. And so I was able to take some time to just kind of mourn and kind of get back on my feet, and so that was a big help for sure. So I really appreciated that.
And that's awesome to hear how the YouTube and the Facebook community help each other, look out for each other. It doesn't have to be cutthroat. I'm not sharing my info with you. Someone actually said in my group, we don't share bolos because I'm not going to teach the competition. I'm like, oh my God, you're in my group, and that's all we do is share with each other. Are you kidding me right now? So, I'm still trying to teach everybody that, there's more customers than I can ever get to, more products than I can ever buy.
That's
right. So everyone, I don't know if you're probably not looking at the chat, but so sorry. God bless. Can't imagine how sad. I'm very sorry. But this is like a good Disney movie. There is a happy ending. So let's jump ahead. So you are, so you're with the kids. You've fixed up the old motorhome. You've got the new, the fifth wheel. And then what happens?
So, well, like I said, I was really sad and depressed. So I decided I needed to leave Colorado because just everything was just very sad. And so we packed up the RV and we headed south to Arizona. Because I have some family and friends down there. Obviously, we lived down there for a long time. So we hauled the RV down there. But then in the summertime, it gets too hot to live in the RV in Arizona. So we hauled it up to Montana for the summer. And so we did that for a while, just back and forth, kind of snowbirding between Montana and Arizona, basically for the weather. And it was great.
Smart.
So we did a little bit of traveling, and yeah, it was really nice. I lived in Montana when I was younger too. So I had some family and friends up here as well, which is why we did the Arizona Montana switch.
How many times do you think you've done that drive?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
that's not a quick drive.
It is
So
not.
when you were snowbirding, were you sourcing then and selling on eBay then?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Everywhere we went, we would stop along the way. We would hit yard sales. We would hit thrift stores. That's my favorite thing to do. So of course, yes.
Right. So how did you
I love
handle
going to
returns? Someone asked in the thrifting board, what'd you do with returns? I mean, you sold it in Arizona, but now you're in Montana. Who do they send it back to?
Okay, so with returns, it's kind of tricky, but you work with the post office, so there's different ways you can go. Post office boxes are great. I've had 2 different post office boxes, one in Arizona, one in Montana. And then what you can do is you could put a hold on one end, and then when you get to where you're going, you set up a new one. You put a forward in, and they will transfer all your mail up to where you go. So, yeah. So there's that. Using the hold and the forward system. That's basically all I did. But there's other ways you can go too. Like there are some services that actually do mail forwarding. So you can pay a monthly premium, and they will actually get your mail for you, send you a scan of it, and then ship it to you if you want it, or if you need it.
Did you have any returns? Did you have to?
I did have 2 returns. Yeah. So what I did with returns was I just had them shipped to when we were on the road. So kind of jumping ahead, we were actually traveling up the West Coast for about a month. And I had a return at that point. So I had the return sent to my P.O. box in Arizona, and we were on our way to Montana. Once I got to Montana, I just had it forwarded up. And I think there was a fee for the package, like a forward fee. But I basically just had to trust the tracking that had been delivered and go ahead and offer the refunds.
Okay.
At that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
There's other ways you can do it too.
Just gotta, just people spend too much time like dealing with it. Like you said, you just get it done, and because you're on to the next thing.
Yeah. So the tracking showed it was delivered in my box, offered the refund, and issued the refund, and just moved on. But there's other ways you can do it. Like you can have your family or friends pick it up if you have family or friends in the area or something like that. So there's a lot of options.
Okay, that's good to know.
And so, like, did you buy shipping supplies locally? Did you have them sent? Like, and you can only buy so much at a time, right? Because you only got a little bit of space.
Yeah. No, I had all my shipping supplies in the camper. So as we were traveling, as I made sales, I would just pack them up and ship them out wherever we were.
How
But like I
fun.
said, I sold small things, so I had small shipping supplies. You know, when you're only selling eyeglasses and jewelry, all you need is small boxes or small envelopes, tape and paper, and we had a printer and a computer, and so I didn't have a whole lot of shipping supplies, just what I needed basically.
So did the kids enjoy it, or were they at some point like a typical kid going, I hate thrifting?
My kids love to thrift. They're great about thrifting.
Oh,
They're
good.
always excited because
Well,
they
that's
always find
good.
something good. So even if we're like, I'm like, we're gonna stop at the thrift store, and they say no, we don't want to, but we go in anyways. They always find something that they like, you know. And so
Yeah.
they're really good at finding things.
And are they good at finding things to flip to, or are they only just ever looking for themselves?
My son is actually getting really good. He's 11 now, and he's been doing it for a few years. Well, he will find things occasionally, bring them to me, and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And we'll look it up. And lots of times, he has found really good things.
Awesome.
Definitely.
That's awesome. All right, so everyone got sad because your husband passed, rightfully so. But things have changed in that realm too. So where are we at now?
So we, I guess, let's see. We moved up to Montana 2 summers ago, and we decided to stay. I met a man, and so I'm engaged.
Congratulations. Yay.
Wait. Let me
Um,
hang on. Let me give you some confetti. Hold on.
I was going to say you have to. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. I'll give you a Carlton dance and
oh,
then
there
some
you go.
confetti. Yay!
Yay.
So where'd you meet him? And if it's too personal, you don't have to answer. But where'd you meet him if you want to?
Okay, so we moved up to Montana in the RV. We're still living in the RV, and we had found a place to park our RV. It was a personal property because in the summertime in Montana, it's very hard to find places to park your RV because the campgrounds are so full and they charge a lot. So we found just a private person who had an RV spot. Turned out to be not so great. We had issues with the power, issues with the water. We had all kinds of issues. Then the guy was kind of a creep. So we were looking for some place new to stay. And this guy named Sterling said, "Hey, I have this house. It was about 30 minutes away that I'm renting out, but I have to evict the renter and the house needs some repairs, but you can park your RV on the property and you can use the house while you fix it up." And so I did, and we started dating, and that's it.
It's like,
It's like straight out of a movie, Deb. You know,
I
it's just
was
like
saying, it's like a Hallmark movie.
it totally is. It
Oh,
totally
wait a minute. You didn't tell us. How did you find Sterling? Was it online dating? Was it in
Yeah,
the
online.
comments? You just found him online.
Yeah.
But I guess that's okay because you're living in your RV. It's not like you're moving
Yeah.
in the house with him. Oh, and then love blossomed. Yay.
Yes. Yes, he's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you said that in your notes, and you know, I'm reading your thing, and you're telling your story about getting in the RV and your husband passing, which is obviously very sad. But man, it hit my feels when you said, and I met the most amazing man, and we're together, and I'm like, oh, that is so great to hear.
yeah.
Now, does he have kids?
No, he does not. He has dogs.
Damn, I was gonna sing the Brady Bunch song.
He has dogs. Dogs. So now, are you in an RV or are you in a brick and mortar house? What do you call it? Stick and brick house.
See, I got you going now. It's a brick and mortar house.
Stick and brick. We're in the house now. We're actually living in Sterling's house.
Okay.
And he doesn't live with us. He lives in another town actually, but this is his house. And so we live here, and then the RV is parked in the yard right now, and we're thinking about turning it into like an Airbnb maybe or a guest house.
Ooh, smart. Well, I see. Don't you do staging for Airbnbs? I'm looking over your notes.
Yeah, that's one thing that I do kind of as a little side job.
But where's your photo studio at right now?
So that's the inside of our camper. Yeah, the back end of it. So I was using that as my photo studio. Yes.
Smart.
So as you can see, I was watching your videos today, and I actually learned something. Not that I didn't think I would, but I was just, I just kind of half watching while I was doing my work, and like, all right, I'm getting ready for the show tonight. And this is your thrift haul from December 5th. And so Dorky Thrifters, if you guys want to subscribe, please head over there and subscribe. But you have thrifted some Big Dog shirts. And in my head, I went, Becky, those aren't worth any money anymore. And then you showed this sold on eBay. I'm like, what?
I was surprised too. I thought, I'll just lot these together because there was 2 of them. But then I started looking at the solds and it just kept going and going, like $50 or more. I was like, what in the world? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So
fun. That was a fun
thank
time.
you. I mean, like I said, I was just watching to see if I could, any other talking points. And I was just like, oh, Becky, you shouldn't have thrifted those. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, you should. I guess I better start paying attention to them now. Like I see them all the time. Never pick them up because the brand died. And I didn't think people cared anymore. But thanks to Dorky Thrifter. Thank you.
Yay.
Go to pick it back up again. All right, let's get to your duds and scores because you still do small things, even though you are now, stationed in a house. So I decided from now on, we'll start with the duds so we can end on a high note. All right, so tell us about these scissors.
Okay, so the reason why I put these as a dud was because I had them for, they were listed on eBay for a year and a half almost. And then I finally, I just started listing on Mercari just a few months ago. I put them on Mercari. They finally sold. But I paid $15 for them. They sold for $24. So it wasn't a huge profit. And yeah, they're just a pair of scissors, like vintage scissors and a letter opener for like an office, I guess.
Fun.
And they
That's easy to ship.
weren't great, yeah. And so this is just a pair of eyeglasses. I sell a lot of eyeglasses for a lot of money, but this was one that they're not all great. And so this is one that I had in my stock for I think 3 years, and somebody finally, I just keep lowering the prices down, and they got down to $15 with free shipping. Somebody offered me 10, and I just said yes, go.
Yeah.
So they're not all great, but yeah.
All right, so we'll go from the $10 pair to a $75 pair.
There you go. So there's a good one. So this is a pair of eyeglasses. I think I only paid $1 for them and maybe $1 for the case. And these sold really fast. This was a good brand. Any of these like chunky, the big chunky looking ones always sell really well for me. I guess I kind of think of like, I don't know, Drew Carey or something like that,
Yeah.
that style.
Yeah.
And these sold really fast within just a few days.
Wow.
For $75, and I only paid a couple dollars for them. So, and they're super easy to ship and to store and everything.
Exciting. I haven't ever tried glasses before.
Oh, look at that Trapper Keeper. Oh.
Oh, wow.
So here, another $75. So this one I found. My kids had a soccer game in a town, and I decided to swing into the thrift store, of course, while we were there. And I picked this up for $1. It was in like brand new condition, still had the folders and everything. And that sold actually on Etsy, but Etsy wouldn't let me show you the sold, I guess. So I had it cross-posted. So this was the eBay listing, but it did sell for $75 plus shipping on Etsy.
No way, $75? Oh, because it's a Trapper Keeper brand.
It's an old Trapper Keeper from like the 80s. Or I guess this one's, it says 80s or 90s maybe.
So cute. Wow. There's so much money out there.
There is so much money. So here's the one that was actually, this one went to Sweden from the global shipping program. I paid $3 for this wristwatch in a thrift store just right here locally, and put a new battery in it, and it sold. Actually, this one sold while we were on vacation in Arizona in November. We went down to Arizona for a couple weeks, and so I just put I think I put like a 10-day handling time on my eBay account, and the guy messaged me and said, hey, do you think this will get to Sweden by Christmas? And I told him I'd be back, in a week, and I would ship it out. And it must have got there because I haven't heard back from him. So
Yay.
must be happy.
Did you, when you saw this watch, did you know it was a score right away? Are you that well versed?
No, I had never heard of this brand before, but it just felt like really good quality, and it looked really nice. So I took a chance and just bought it. And then when I got back into my car, I looked it up and saw the comps were really good. So yeah. Ooh. I sell a lot of wristwatches. I like selling wristwatches. They're pretty easy to do.
And I had to say this one to the end because I love this band. I've seen this band since their first album.
I threw that one on there for you.
Heck yeah, 1995 Weezer hoodie.
$75?
I did. I sold it, and this one sold really quick too. I bought this at a yard sale for 25 cents.
Oh, get out!
You're like,
cool. Hang on, I'll give you my mother has a little graphic when we do our show. Hang on, it's her quarter graphic. 75 cents. There you go.
Yeah,
she's in the Peggy Club.
25 cents.
That is.
You can't really see it because of the Mercari, but it was really cool. It was a Weezer. I almost wanted to keep it because it was my, this was my high school year too, like 1995, and But yeah, when I saw that another one had sold that was black for $50, and I thought this one was so much nicer, so I went ahead and sold it.
Yay.
Jason, do you know, where did Weezer start? Are they from California? Or do you know where
I think so, yeah.
Because it seems like they're a local band. I remember when we first moved to Vacaville, everybody talking about Weezer, so I have to look that up.
You think Weezer's from Vacaville?
Well, I know Papa Roaches. They're from Vacaville.
They formed in LA in '92. There you go. See how quick?
Okay, yeah. Papa Roach started. They're from Vacaville. They went to high school here. Our neighbors did welding for him and stuff. So they're local boys. So I was so excited to have you on because I know you as the eyeglass seller. Did you have to learn to repair them? I mean, there's probably not that much to it. Did you do a lot of repair on the eyeglasses?
Yeah, so I just kind of started tinkering around with them myself. I don't really know anything about eyeglasses. I just kind of learned as I went. And there wasn't really anybody talking about eyeglasses on YouTube, which is one of the reasons why I decided to start the channel and talk about it. But yeah, they're super easy to fix, especially like the plastic frames I showed. Those are really easy to clean and fix. But sometimes like the wire metal frames are a little bit more work because you have to change like the little plastic nose pieces usually need to be changed.
Yeah.
Little pads. And so you can buy those in bulk on eBay and then just switch them out. It just takes a few minutes once you get good at it. Clean them up a little bit.
Well, I'm going to start looking at eyeglasses for sure because all the thrift stores have them in those little spinner racks.
Yeah, they have the spinner racks, or sometimes they even have just like a big box full of like junk sunglasses and readers. And if you dig in there, you can. I pull out anything that's name brand, really.
Oh, good.
It's in good shape, of course.
All right, so I haven't actually thrifted at a big thrift store in quite a while. Like I've hit some of the smaller ones in New York, but I'm itching to go next week. So, Stace, we're gonna go look at eyeglasses.
For
sure.
A lot of money. Yeah, I've sold eyeglasses for up to I think one pair sold for $350. Some vintage Ray-Ban glasses sold for $350, and I paid $1 for them. So there's a lot of money in eyeglasses, for sure.
Especially that's the thing with Ray-Ban. I would always think, oh, that's counterfeit. I mean, my husband picked up a pair of Ray-Bans in Mexico when we were just on the cruise. We knew those weren't real. So I guess you just have to learn to identify them.
You mean like the Louis Vuittons I saw on the streets of New York City? Those aren't real?
I don't think so.
All right. So Marissa says you have great tips on cleaning them. I'm assuming that's on your YouTube channel?
Yes.
All right. So what's your YouTube channel again?
It's the Dorky Thrifters.
Dorky Thrifters. And how often do you put videos up?
Not very often. I'm not really good about it. I actually haven't posted in like over a year and a half until just recently. So I'm going to try to get back to it. But I was kind of taking a break from social media for a while. But I'll get back to it and I'll post some more videos.
And then you have a Facebook group, Dorky Thrifters. Is that just like a page that people would like? You don't have a group? Or okay, so look for the Dorky Thrifters page and maybe she'll start putting stuff on there too. And
we'll add if you're watching this after the fact, we'll get all the links added down below. So
hopefully you'll see your subscriptions go up when all of us come over there and join. I think I already am.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And then maybe that'll be motivate for me to post more videos.
Yeah. Does your son, 11-year-old son, do they help you with your social media? Is he like a wizard with all that?
He is getting into it more and he really wants to, but I'm kind of don't really want him to be too much online. But yeah, he's definitely getting into like editing videos and stuff, and he's getting really good at that kind of stuff.
Oh, good.
I will definitely have him help me in the future for sure.
Nice. Now, maybe you'll come to eBay Open Vegas next July, the last week of July, so we can meet in person.
Yeah, maybe. I've never been to anything like that before.
Oh, it's so fun, especially in Vegas, because Jason and Stacy live there, and we have parties, and we hang out, and we learn so much. You learn so much just from hearing each other talk. And so that's why I tell people, start saving money now, because I'm sure it's going to be, this is what, the 25th year, Jason, of eBay that we're coming into?
Oh, no, 25's already happened.
I thought we were at the 20th. So what
that was like 5 years ago. That was We Are 20 in San Jose.
Right, that's We Are 20. So are we coming up to 25 now? Or
wasn't 25 this year?
No, I think it's next year. We'll figure out.
All right, well,
because I talked to the gal, that puts it on, and she said what they have planned for next year is going to be amazing. It's always been good. So anyway, everybody start saving your money. And I want to tell everybody, too, make sure you use your store coupon, your coupon eBay shipping supplies coupon. Jason, did you say you just used yours today? We just
Oh,
used
I haven't used it yet. I gotta get on that.
Yeah, if you still have it, make sure you use it because come December 31st, it's no good. We get a new one after that. So, yeah. So, are there any questions for?
No, we got it all covered. So, I wanted to say a couple things to everyone who have watched today and all year. No matter what you celebrate, if it's Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa. If it's Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah, and hang on, let me light the menorah.
Oh.
And then if it's Christmas, a little that and a little that. And then no matter if it's Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or Christmas, let's get lit.
Yeah.
So, Becky, thank you very much for being on. It's an amazing story, and I'm gonna watch more of your videos because I'm like, dang, I've been skipping some things I should not be skipping. So I'm gonna go search. But yeah, if you get down this way with or without motorhome, let me know. We'll be happy to take you out and go thrifting around Vegas, and we'll go hunt for some small stuff.
I just had a question come in from our little support chat group upstairs. People are asking, what do you do about prescription eyeglasses? Do you have a way to say this is a 0.55 or whatever it goes?
I don't. What I put in my description is that they do have prescription lenses and that they'll need to be changed. And so there's different ways people can have them changed at their optometrist or online. There's a lot of online sites now where you can just send in the frames and they'll put your prescription in them. And so I just say either I sell them for just the frames without the lenses at all, or I'll just say that they have prescription lenses and I do not know the prescription, so they'll have to change them.
So they're buying them for the frames then, because we know the frames.
Right, I'm selling them for the frames. Yeah, and the lenses don't really matter. You can throw them away if you pop them out, and they don't really need them because now they have lasers that can just measure inside the frame.
Oh, good.
Good
to know.
It's all about the lasers nowadays.
Yeah. Awesome. This was so fun.
All right. So if you've not subscribed before, click subscribe down at the bottom there. Click on the bell. The bell lets you know when we're going live. And go over to the Dorky Thrifter and subscribe to Becky also. And give us a big thumbs up. Give Becky a thumbs up. And excuse me. I want everyone to have a wonderful holiday season, but don't be gone too long because next week we want you to be on the show. So get ready. Get your computer ready. Get your story ready. Come on and join us. And it'll be, it won't be too structured. We're just going to be hanging out with all y'all. So it's just going to be a fun little, post-Christmas holiday hangout. So come join us next Thursday. So we'll see you all then. Becky, have a wonderful holiday. Have a great time with your kids and your fiance. And congratulations again on getting engaged.
Yes, it's so funny. That's not the cat that started the show with us, but he's laying like in the same cat. I wish I could have a cat. My husband says no.
All right. Say goodnight, Debbie.
Good night. Bye. Merry Christmas. Go get all your
everybody. Have a good holiday.
Bye.